Hey guys, welcome to episode 17 of The Doctor and the Dork. This is Frank here with our co-hostess Olivia.
Hi everyone.
And we are coming to you with a special episode this week. This is the first week of our Sober October.
Woohoo.
So we know it's not October yet, guys. You don't have to tell us. But it does start later this week, and we figured we'd start on Monday. But we're starting it off. Olivia hasn't murdered anyone from a lack of caffeine.
No, but I'm going to be very not hyper on tonight's episode.
Yeah, we were both kind of sluggish today. I'm not even a caffeine drinker.
Yeah.
And I wanted a cup of coffee today, mostly because I can't have them. That's really it.
Yeah, I love waking up and having a good hot beverage, but I'm going to try to switch over to a good herbal tea.
Tea?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Tea sucks.
Better than maybe like the placebo effect. My mind will be like, oh, a hot morning beverage. It's supposed to have caffeine in it.
Alright, so also guys, while we're doing Sober October, we've also decided we're doing hot yoga this year. They didn't have like a better deal, so we're going to end up doing 10 sessions of hot yoga this month.
Why? Would you do more if there was a better deal?
I'd be willing to do like a 15, but there wasn't a 15. And there wasn't an 8, so yeah, we got 10.
Feeling very unmotivated for hot yoga this evening.
Really?
So stay tuned next week.
Yeah, next week, guys. We'll be 2 sessions in, and I might be a cripple by then, because I tell you what, just, oh my god, hot yoga is not easy. There's normal yoga, and then there's like, hey, let's make it 100 degrees in here and do it again. And it's like, it makes it significant. You wouldn't think it, but it's like doing anything. Like, imagine digging a hole. Mild temperatures outside, not bad. You're like, yeah, I can stop, have some water, make it 110 degrees outside, and you're like, I'm about to drop dead. Like, this isn't even, like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But, so for Sober October, I'm trying to do the Mediterranean diet again, though Frankie did just cook me non-whole wheat pasta, but that's okay. And
sue me.
We're lifting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, doing hot yoga Tuesday, Thursday. And
we're doing a half marathon in the second week of October.
We are. Can't wait.
See how excited she sounds, guys? It's going to be fantastic.
I'm abstaining from social media, so I deleted my Facebook, I deleted my LinkedIn, but I've left Instagram on there for the pure purposes of this podcast. So the rule is you can go on Instagram or social media 1 time a week. And I was like, that's perfect. I'll save it for Tuesdays. Let me tell you, all day Monday, somehow my thumb just kept finding the Instagram on my muscle, and I click it, and as soon as I clicked it, I was like, crap, and that's just me looking at it today.
I tell you what, when I got rid of Facebook, so for a lot of you, like, oh, he deactivated his account. No, I straight deleted my account. Now, for those of you that have done this, they make you take a backup of your account, and then there's a 45-day process. And if you log in at any point in those 45 days, they put a halt to it. It's basically set up so you never leave. And I tell you what, that was a real struggle. I didn't even have the app.
Yeah.
I didn't even have it saved in a bookmark. But I tell you what, I'd be sitting there, and next thing I know, I'd be typing facebook.com into the internet browser, and I'm like, what is actually wrong with me? Like, I haven't used this in 30 days. I'm going to ruin it 15 days to go.
I feel ya.
So
anyways, that's our start of Sober October. Some administrative stuff for the podcast. We have officially surpassed 300 listens, which is actually kind of a miracle.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd make it this far.
I'd like to give a shout out to my grandma, because I think she binged a bunch of them, and she got us just over that 300 mark for tonight's episode. I also just want to let any of our YouTube listeners know that they might see like a little issue when they go to pull up the order and things might be a little out of order. There's like a glitch where YouTube was saying there was an error, so then I deleted the video only to find out that I didn't really need to delete the video. So yeah, there's a few that are a little out of order, so
we got punked by YouTube. That's what happened.
But they're all up there now, so fear not.
Well, you got one more thing. You got your Arrow Garden.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't look at me to talk about the Arrow Garden.
I figured you wanted to talk mean things about my Arrow Garden.
I mean, you are a plant killer. Don't be wrong, guys.
My Arrow Garden was flourishing, but it was flourishing a little too much. It was stressing me out. Like, the plants were ruling the Arrow Garden, and I needed to take it under control. So I really snipped down a lot of the basil.
She massacred them, guys.
It had to go. It had to go. It needed to not be there anymore.
She crippled it. I've seen photos of, like, these Arrow Gardens, and they are packed out. I mean, looking really just packed. This thing is looking empty and dead. like
it looks nice.
These
it looks well managed.
No, it doesn't.
Trim.
They were flourishing. They were doing so well. And then you murder them. And then you put the tomatoes in a pot next to them.
I was going to talk about. Is Frankie and I both discussed that we were going to move the tomato out of the Aero Garden, and now he's acting surprised. And you want to know what else? He also crushed up his morning eggshells and put it in the tomato as if, like, within a couple days, that eggshell was going to give the tomato.
No, but I got to mix it in with the soil. I need to mix it into the soil.
I'm going to post a picture so everybody can see how well mixed in with the soil.
No, I didn't mix it in, guys. I crushed them up this morning and threw them in, and I haven't mixed them in yet. I'm going to get around to it.
He did tie the tomato plant up very nicely, though. I give him that
As it's wilting and dying at this point.
As I talk about trimming, though, it reminded me of one other thing I wanted to bring up. I'm getting my hair cut this week, and I'm very nervous about it. So the next time any of you all see me, I'm probably going to have shorter hair.
Guys, I told her to pull the Britney look, and I'm bringing back the early 2000s.
And hoping to get it just above my shoulders.
Yeah?
We'll see if I follow through with that plan.
You won't. You're going to get the ends cut a little bit, trim up the bangs, and call it a day.
Anywho.
On other news, guys, I got my motorcycle back this past week. I was super stoked about that.
Did they know it was gone?
No, I don't think anyone in the pod knew it was gone. Guys, so my rear brakes were kind of jacked up. Again, you don't need them on a motorcycle, not particularly. All your stopping power comes from downshifting and your front brakes. But anyway, I didn't like that my rear brakes were kind of leaking some brake fluid every once in a while. Not even consistently, which told me that the caliper seals were bad. So brought it into BMW, they did that, and then they did the 12,000 mile tune-up because I was pretty close to that. And I tell you what, this thing is running like I just bought it. I love it. Oh my god, it's shifting so much better again. It's stopping better.
Yeah, but it's been raining like every day since you got it back.
Yeah, I did only get one good day of riding,
yeah.
And it wasn't even a full day.
No.
Which was kind of a letdown.
Yeah, well, because you went out one night and there was traffic jams everywhere, and then we went out the next day and then it started to rain.
That is true, yeah.
So.
But it happens, guys. Anyway, 'tis the season, and there's still more riding to be done until about November. Until about November, then it gets way too cold. Yeah, once it's down in the 40s, it's like, I'm good. So
that makes sense. Well, why don't you roll us into the dork segment?
Into the dork segment? All right, guys. I say this every week, but I think this is going to be a short one. Because I really don't have a lot here. So, a ex-Facebook manager, he was the director of, like, something with their, like, monetizing their advertising, if that makes sense. And there's a news article on it from, I think, yesterday. And he basically came out and said Facebook has made itself just like, it's modeled itself after big tobacco. And the fact that they went out of their way to make it overly addicting. Yeah, they put certain things into the cigarettes, but then they upped their advertising campaign. But then they did other things to make it so that you get more smoke out of it, that you could inhale easier by adding sugar and menthol into it to make it easier for smoking, and so on and so forth. So it's not just addicting, it's actually easy. And that's essentially what he said that Facebook has done. They've gone out of their way with the notifications and the likes and the pokes and adding friends and everything. I mean, I don't know what they have these days. I stopped like 5 years ago, but
I don't think anybody's used a poke in the last decade.
Oh. Well, yeah, when I was on Facebook, they had pokes. But this guy was their director for, I believe it was 2010 to 2016, and he was up at Capitol Hill testifying about Facebook and all of its problems and how it's genuinely harming society.
What was he trying to say, that the government needs to ban Facebook?
That something actually needs to be done about not just Facebook, but social media as a whole, because it's not just Facebook that has this this method about them. It's all of them. They all do it.
Maybe he forgot history, or he's not living in the present, but big tobacco was pretty bad for everybody, and big tobacco won and is still winning.
Fair enough. So on the other side of major companies that are floating around, we have Amazon Prime, guys.
Woohoo!
I was just asking Olivia about that this morning. We don't woo for Amazon.
Primeday.
Bezos doesn't need our money. Oh my god. But guys, when was the last Amazon Prime Day?
July. It was July last year.
Was it July?
I read an article that said it's later than usual. They delayed it due to coronavirus.
Okay. Because I'm not gonna lie, I really thought there was like, does Amazon have multiple days? Because I'm pretty sure there was a day earlier this year that there was something that they were doing. Like, my memory could be that bad, but there was, like, free 2-day shipping on everything.
That's possible. I don't know. I was reading that they delayed it because, like during Corona, all the shipping was getting delayed.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to let down people by not having that 2-day shipping on Prime Day, which I guess makes sense.
Anyway, Prime Day is October 13th and 14th this year, guys.
Also,
so that's coming up.
I read Target is doing sales day on the 13th and 14th as
God.
well. So if you're a Target person and you don't want to support your Benzos, feel free to get over to your local Target.
Bezos needs the money,
Benzos.
Look, if we don't give him our money, he
happen?
can't be the richest person in the world anymore.
Is he
That's
actually
a problem.
the richest person?
He's the richest person. The only people that are questionable are like the oil princes out in the Middle East because they don't have to report their money to anyone because they are the government.
Yeah.
And they also don't count their money in like the same. So it's actually thought that there are actually already trillionaires in the world, and several of them are Saudi princes. Well, not even Saudi directly, but maybe Kuwaiti, Saudi, UAE, that region. Just a lot of oil money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's questioned whether or not a few of them could actually be trillionaires, and they just don't even care to count because, well, it's just not even a thing for them at that point.
Gotcha.
Next, guys, if you are in the area of Boston, there is currently a gentleman.
How is this a dork story?
No, but it's an awesome story, and it's dork because it gets into engineering a little.
Okay.
All right, for all of you wizards of moving things, there's a gentleman who just bought a house, and on his second story, in his master bedroom closet, there is a 700-pound safe. And apparently the owner that used to have the house used to run a gold store, or own a gold store or whatever. I don't know if I didn't read into it that much if she passed away or whatever. Needless to say, he doesn't have the combo for the safe, and at the same time, he can't remove the 700-pound safe from his closet. So, if there are any of you strong men walking around looking for a free safe, he's willing to give you the safe and all of its contents if you can get it out of his house.
I can't wait till somebody gets it. We'll have to follow up on this.
I know. I really want to know what's in this safe.
I bet nothing.
It's probably going to be empty. But 700-pound safe is worth a lot of money.
That's true. That on its own is worth it.
That on its own is actually worth a whole lot of money.
That's fair.
So, especially if they can keep it intact and get a key made for it after the fact, which is possible.
Well,
you
just
could go
need
to
a
key maker.
combination or something.
Well, it could be keyed or combination. Needless to say, there are ways to open it up. You have to bring it to a safe person.
A locksmith?
Yeah, pretty much. A skilled one at that. So, guys, Boston, free safe, 700 pounds. Do it. Throw your backs out. I want to hear about it. I only got 2 other things. I was all hyped up about the PS5 pre-orders. Well, turns out, so I watched their exclusive show, I guess demonstration of the PS5 and the upcoming games. They said, oh hey, it's gonna go, pre-orders go live the next day. All these big companies, Target, yeah, your loved Target, Walmart, GameStop, Amazon, I believe, and a couple others. They released their pre-orders a day early, basically during that meeting because everyone got so hyped up.
So when he says release their pre-orders, he means pre-ordering was open.
Yes, they let pre-orders be open. The problem was they didn't know what they were going to have for pre-orders, and they over-pre-ordered everything.
What he means is when he says they didn't know what they were
They
going to have
sold
for
stuff they didn't have.
He didn't know how many PlayStations they were going to have in stock yet.
Yeah, and not me. Walmart didn't know. All right, they oversold something they didn't even have yet. All right, they pre-ordered the pre-orders without knowing how much they would get, and now they're having to tell people they're not going to get their pre-order. Well, here's what they're doing now is they're turning around saying, oh, you'll have your PlayStation 5 for this date. Well, the whole idea of a pre-order is to get it on release. Yeah, on release day, not 3 weeks later.
So what are they going to do?
Not give you that pre-order.
I mean, they could very easily, I'm sure they have the time in which all of these were ordered.
They're not going to do that. Come on, really.
Like the first 100 people, they get theirs.
Yeah, that's probably viable, but yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. But, alright, last thing, guys. Fall season upon us. Season is upon us. And I am a big fan of heated jackets. If you guys have not had one, they're awesome.
Heated jacket.
Heated jacket. You say that, but you're always cold as you latch onto me for body warmth.
I've been lifting, and my muscles are producing more heat than they've ever produced in
Yeah,
my
okay.
life.
Yeah, I give you 3 weeks into cold weather, and you're gonna be like, babe, I'm frozen.
How much does one of these cost?
So these jackets will typically run you like $130.
That's
you can,
it?
You can get a good one for like
Are they
$100.
battery powered?
Yep, they'll last upwards of. So they used to be very expensive, like $300 jackets.
Okay.
But it's kind of come a long way in the past like 4 or 5 years, and you can pick a good jacket up for like $90 to $150.
That's heated. When you say heated, you mean like a heated blanket. You don't mean like it's warm.
I mean like a heated blanket, not like casually warm. I mean will have you sweating in the middle of winter, kind of heat.
Interesting.
And a lot of them are boasting they'll give you up to like 10 hours of heat. I'm gonna say they'll give you like 6. Realistically, I mean they're battery powered. But the batteries aren't that big.
Are they rechargeable?
Yes, also rechargeable. So, yeah, if you guys have never had one, I suggest you go out and get one. There is a company that's really good with them. It's Ororo. I have no idea how to pronounce it.
Did they pay us for this sponsorship?
No, but I like them. It's ORORO. Yeah, very good company, guys.
You know, this is very interesting. For somebody who doesn't even wear jackets in the winter, how are you possibly promoting a heated jacket?
I used to have one. I loved it.
Back when you wore jackets?
Yeah, and then it broke on me. So
you're like, I'm not wearing jackets no more.
It was nothing but tank tops and jean shorts through winter. All right, all you, babe.
All right.
Take it away with the doctor.
I'll move into mine. So I did mess up Jeff Bezos' names because I have benzos on the mind. And why do I have benzos on the mind? Well, the FDA has finally released a statement and added a new safety precaution to all of our benzodiazepines, saying be careful because they might be addictive and people might abuse and misuse them. So what are benzodiazepines? They're your alprazolam, your diazepam, in plain terms, Xanax, Valium. So I think everybody else besides the FDA had a pretty solid understanding that these could be addictive. But yeah, now there's an official warning, so I guess prescribers are probably going to have to use it with a little more caution and give it out to their patients a little less theoretically. Besides that, I got a couple of corona updates I wanted to discuss. The first one is Johnson & Johnson, I read this week, has now moved into phase 3 trials. Are they going to be able to kind of make up for lost time with a couple other companies leading the race? Only time will tell. As we saw with AstraZeneca, all it takes is one bad side effect to really hold somebody else up. So you never really know. Another thing that I've been thinking about is what happens if more than one vaccine gets approved? And I tried to do a search of this to inform all of my listeners, but I couldn't really find anything. So my thought would be maybe the first one that gets the approval is going to win. But from an insurance standpoint, I'm going to want to pay for the one that's most effective. So I don't know, if anybody has any understanding how that works, I'd be very interested to understand
I was trying to tell her that it's probably whoever gets it first is going to get the big fat government contract. And that's really, the rest of them will have it and they'll try and sell their stuff.
Well, what if one comes out and it's 60% effective and 2 weeks later another one comes out and it's 80% effective? You're telling me we're all going to get that one that's 60% effective?
I think the government's going to go, hey, I'll give you a free vaccine at 60%.
Damn.
And I'm willing to bet they're going to give a fat contract to give out this vaccine for free to everybody. And then whoever comes out later is just going to have to suck it up and be like, hey, we have the better vaccine, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah, because it's even been interesting. All of these different companies have different sizes, like different size trials. Like I think Moderna has something like 30,000 patients, Pfizer has something like 40,000, but Johnson & Johnson has over 60,000 patients that they're planning to enroll. So that seems like, I don't know, it would make a big difference to me. Anywho, the last thing I want to talk about was an article I read that was suggesting that this healthcare system down in Florida, I believe it was, called Advent Health, believes they have the miracle cocktail. I'm going to call it the Corona cocktail. They call it ICAM, and ICAM is an acronym which stands for immune support, so they give you vitamin C and zinc, corticosteroids, so we already talked about this before, things like prednisone, dexamethasone that are going to help you, And then the A stands for anticoagulation, which we already talked about how corona has an increased risk of blood clots. And then the last one on there, the M, is macrolides, which would be like azithromycin, which every article I've read about azithromycin.
What is that?
It's just like an antibiotic.
Oh, okay.
But every article I've read about that, there's no evidence that it does anything for coronavirus. But nonetheless, they're claiming that this kind of corona cocktail is really helping all of their patients stay off of ventilation at least. So I'm going to be interested to see if they publish an actual study about that to see if they actually work. I can get behind 3 out of 4 of those.
It sounds like they just are pumping people full of all kinds of good stuff that would help you at baseline.
Sure, but you know what they don't have on here is
steroids.
No, they have steroids on here. I can't remember. Remdesivir they don't have on here. That's that really expensive one. I also read that Sorrento, some pharmaceutical companies developing some coronavirus cure. I don't know. I read that their stock went up a bunch today. But they just have like the chemical names right now. They don't even have like the real real,
a vaccine
but like actual name. No,
they don't have a marketing name.
Yeah, they don't have marketing. Like they don't have a name like Xanax yet or anything like that. They don't have a acetaminophen. They don't have an actual name.
Got you.
Right now it's just like PS01408 or something like that.
That's pretty marketable. I'll take it. Isn't that like Elon Musk's kid's name?
Basically, yeah. Maybe he named it after a drug. That's really all I have. We're gonna be really short tonight.
Yeah, I know. Well, we have to get going to our hot yoga session.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like actually hot. Get your minds out of the gutter. It's gonna be like literally.
And you were the only one thinking that.
Was I though?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's probably true. Yeah.
But we are definitely going to have a guest on episode 20.
Yes, he will be the long-awaited AJ.
Woo!
He made our music. He made our cover art. He is a secret guitar ninja.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should bring his guitar. We can have acoustic session with AJ.
Oh God.
I think he's gonna. I want him to.
How are we gonna do that?
I want him to do stand-up comedy on our podcast. I want him to do a bunch of different accents because he was randomly doing accents last night, and I enjoyed that. And I'd like him to play us a song. So we'll see how many of those we live up to on episode.
Yeah,
20.
we're gonna have to see how playing the guitar in front of this mic goes. I bet it'll actually capture.
I think it'll be really great.
All right.
That's it.
Well, that's all we got, guys.
Send us an email, Dr. Indork. Follow us on Instagram, Dr. Indork. You have to spell out doctor. That's one glitch I came up with so far, so you actually have to spell out doctor, and you have to spell out and. There's no spaces in there.
What would they do for...
Dr. DR.
Oh.
And then and, you could use the and symbol.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did everything spelled out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're lame.
Anyways, that's it. Any further comments?
No further comments. Have yourself a great week, guys. We'll talk to you for episode 18.
Later.